Hello, listener, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Keeping Up Appearances podcast, full of opinion, debate, and football trivia with a hint of nostalgia. I'm Callum Murray, and here with me is
Sean O'Hara,
Bob Gall, and Michael Tosh.
They say not to judge a book by its cover, but we might judge a player by their appearance. Let's get into it.
Cool. So do you need to say, Sean, or just usual?
What do you mean, anything to say?
Anything like...
Welcome to the podcast,
No.
I'd go with.
No, that anything else to add? Nothing important, no.
No,
Then we need to start with a dedication to sausage fingers, don't we?
Don't mention that.
I think you need to stop being so disrespectful, Bob.
It's Connor, what's he going to do? Ronnie! Ronnie! Oh, yes!
So welcome back to the Keeping Up Appearances podcast. We are back with another great episode. Hope you enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoyed last week's episode with our guest, Matthew Griffin. Great to have him on. We are back to the usual squad this week, though. And I will hand over to Sean for our highlight of the podcast, as he wants me to tell you, is any given Saturday.
Did I say it was the highlight, Cal?
Yeah, you thought it was highlight last week, so
I think the listeners did.
I dumbed it down last week, so I'll praise it this week.
All right, nice one. Right, so our games this week are from the 05-06 season. And it's from the middle of April 15th, 2006. Both 3 o'clock kickoffs. First game is Arsenal 3, West Brom 1. 4 scorers.
Is the West Brom scorer marooned on the island? And do I mention him every week?
Oh, no, he's not.
Is one of the Arsenal scorers, was he constantly injured?
Don't think so.
So he didn't have a sweet left foot.
Who are we talking about?
Was he a poor choice for number 2?
Trying to trick Sean. The Sean beat us last week, so trying to bamboozle him this week.
He's just say a name, please.
Abu Diaby, no.
Oh, no, sorry.
I was thinking, was he a Dutch fella who scored a brilliant header in a World Cup?
No.
Did he get his leg mangled against Birmingham City?
No.
Did he get his leg mangled against Stoke City?
No.
Did he ever get his leg mangled?
I'll be honest, I don't know, but I don't think so. No.
What was the year? Sorry, Sean.
2006.
Is he one of the Arsenal ones one of your favourite ever player?
No. Some big names here, though. Like
6 7s. That was the year after.
Was he
5-6? It was 5-6, Tosh.
Was he a very young captain for Arsenal, then moved to Barcelona?
No.
Yeah, they'd have been wearing the maroon kit, would they have in that year? That was the year after.
All of the players I remember in that kit.
Did he have a very good headline on Peep Show when he turned 30?
No, unfortunately not.
Was one of them mentioned in iconic celebrations, if you were to do that for Maroon 5?
No.
Iconic one-off celebrations?
No.
No, that's okay.
Is one of them Philippe Senderos?
No.
Is one of them French?
Yes.
Robert Perez,
Correct.
or a player?
Nice.
Is one of them not French?
Player.
So the other 3 aren't French, no.
Okay. Is the West Brom player English?
No.
Oh no.
Did he play for any other Premier League teams?
Yes.
Did he play for Wigan?
Not that I know of.
I think Paul Shano was at West Brom a bit later than that.
I was also thinking Jason Roberts as well.
Oh, right, okay.
I think that was the... Sorry, Callum.
Go on, I was going to say, did the West Brom player always score against Everton?
No.
Paul Shana.
So, right, I'll go back.
Is there...
Sorry, so I always get right. I don't know what I'm committing to here when I say they're English. So he was born in England but didn't play for England. Played for
James Morrison.
No,
Who did he play for? Sorry, Sean, I missed that.
I haven't told you. I can't give you that information.
Right, I'll go back to Arsenal.
That's too early for that Berahino, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Go back to Arsenal, yeah. Was the other one centre midfielder?
No.
Striker then?
Yeah.
Was he Freddie Lundberg?
No.
Don't know, I just went straight in there. So who's been playing for Arsenal? It's not Henry, it's not Adebayor. Who's been playing like Champions? I reckon they got the Champions League final that year.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
And it's not Van Persie.
No.
Is he dead now?
No.
It's a good guess.
Yeah. I just came out of nowhere, Bob, I'll be honest. Such a jovial start.
So the two of the Arsenal players it's two separate scorers in it for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Was one of them a defender then?
No. I might be wrong on where one of them played.
Are they both not English as well, did you say?
Yeah, but none of them are English.
Well, that team got to find.
Is one of them a famous footballing brother that we've mentioned before for Maroon 5?
No.
Who are you thinking of there?
Sorry.
Oh yeah. I thought you mentioned Justin and Gavin Hoyt.
Is one of them either of them?
No.
Is one of them Alexander Sleb?
Yes, it is.
Oh, what a player.
He was the one I wasn't sure where he played.
I'd say left wing.
Yeah,
left
wing
wing
or like
slash
number
number
10.
10.
Yeah. He sort of got a mention in my Maroon 5 for Mavericks as well, didn't he?
If I needed to give a clue, it would have been that, to be fair. But...
Is one of them supposedly now a billionaire?
No.
So this other person then, I assume this other person was the one you were saying. Hleb was the one where you weren't quite sure if he was a midfielder or striker. Is this other one is he right midfielder?
I'd say, again, more like he's a forward, but like usually played in the hole.
He's not French. Oh, he's not French, is he? It's too early for Nasri, wasn't it? Not Flamini.
I think that's who
Bob a billionaire.
Yeah. Oh, is he a billionaire? I didn't know. I thought
he's like the richest footballer ever, isn't he? Or something like that.
Is he? Yeah. How'd he get that?
It's some sort of like renewable energy company or something, isn't it?
I think it was Chopsticks.
One and the same then.
Yeah. Come on, big name player.
Was he Czech?
No, he was a goalie for Chelsea, wasn't he?
They play for Arsenal.
Yeah, good point. Done you there?
Yeah, he did actually.
You should have asked, did he have an angle dead?
Right, so he's not English. Is he from Europe?
Yeah.
Spain.
No.
Is he from like Eastern Europe's type thing?
No. It's very much Central Europe, unless I'm wrong. My geography is atrocious.
Is he what you might say is like a Mediterranean Europe?
No.
So
Germanic Europe.
Yeah, like a Germanic European country.
Was Jens Lehmann playing in midfield that day?
So, Holland.
Yes.
Okay.
It was Dennis Bergkamp.
Yep.
Should have got that a lot earlier.
I mean, that's the one I was like, come on. I'm assuming you thought he'd gone by then, though.
Yeah, it was his last season. He did that thing, didn't he? A hybrid. They all wore like orange in his last. Oh, no, did he play it? Did he end up playing at the Emirates?
Yeah, I think it wasn't the first ever game there, like his testimonial or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I remember they had that. Yeah, like I remember like a game stuff Premier League years where they're all sort of in a hybrid or wearing orange. Like so, maybe it was just they had the Dennis Bergkamp day. I think, didn't they? Maybe they did that.
We should all have a Dennis Bergkamp day sometimes.
What a player!
Right, that's 3 Arsenal scorers, just a West Brom one left.
We took that long to get Bergkamp. What chance have we got?
So
Did the other one play for Fulham, the West Brom?
No.
and he wasn't English either. What you say?
Born in England, didn't play for England, played for another country.
Play for
Did he play for a UK country?
Yeah.
Wales.
Was it Nigel Quashie? Did he play for West Brom?
It was him, yeah, well done.
It was him.
I think it's Quasi. I think that's how it's pronounced, Nigel Quasi. Yeah, I thought that took ages. Turns out Bergkamp was the one you were going to struggle with.
Bigger player than Bergkamp.
Yeah. Right, yeah, well done. So that's all 4 goal scorers in the Arsenal West Brom game. Second game is Aston Villa 3, Birmingham 1, but only 3 scorers. So 2 of Villa's goals were by the same player.
And one of them barely talk on Talk Sport.
No.
That rules out most people from Birmingham.
Oh, there's our Birmingham fans going, but
I'm honest.
Villa, did he play for Everton?
No.
Was he in the Bradwell last week?
No.
Has he not aged a day since retiring?
Was one of the Villa ones have a fantastic 3-part name?
No.
Ah,
It's one of the Villa players, Stilian Petrov.
No.
Is one of the Villa play English?
One of them is.
Did he score 1 or 2? Of the goals?
1.
Is he
no, I know.
midfielder?
He's not
No.
a midfielder, no.
Did he play for another Premier League club after Aston Villa?
Yes.
I was going to say, was it Luke Moore?
No.
Would you say you went to a better club after Villa or a worse at the time?
Yes.
You went to a better club.
Better, yeah.
Okay. Is he still playing now?
No.
Did you? I thought you had an idea when you were saying a better club and worse.
Isn't that having it down? It's also subjective.
Does he have facial hair?
Is it Stuart Downing?
No.
That'd be a bit early.
Was one of them Danish?
No.
Was one of them Swedish?
No.
Is one of them on 606 now?
I don't know. Who's on 606?
I don't mean right now, but Chris Sutton.
For Villa?
Yeah.
Did he
Or
play for
Birmingham.
Villa?
He scored a Goodison. I think his last ever goal was a Goodison for Villa.
Well, Chris Sutton is the Birmingham player.
I'll have that.
But I was the one I didn't think he'd get. So fair play.
I didn't really get him. I got him for Villa. So he played for, didn't he? He played for Villa and Birmingham.
Yeah,
I do sort of remember in that Villa kit. That's so we don't need to get the Birmingham score now. It was a 3-1. Easy.
Yeah, so just 2 Villa players.
Did one of them play for Liverpool?
Yes.
Milan Baros.
Correct.
No.
Did you get 2?
He got 2, yeah.
The other one a defender?
Yes.
He played for... Oh, no, he did play for Birmingham.
J. Lloyd Samuel.
It's not J. Lloyd Samuel. Who did he go to that was better than Villa?
Bolton.
Yeah.
Have you seen the documentary about him?
No.
Oh,
yeah, they have. Yeah, like
the
one
maddest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Like about the one where he died, didn't he? But then there's people claim he had like a double life that his wife didn't know about, and then they're trying to spread the rumor that like he wasn't really dead. It's like the maddest stuff. It's just the first half an hour is a documentary about his life, and you think, why am I watching a documentary about J. Lloyd Samuel's like thing? And then it just turns after his death. It's so mad.
Yeah, isn't it like the girlfriend thinks that the wife's killed him or something?
Yeah, basically, because they won't let him access the dental records. Whatever, he died in a car crash where his like body was so like burned or something. Wow, it was mad. One of the maddest things I've ever seen.
It's not him anyway.
On a lighter note, did the defender play for England?
When you say it wasn't him, do you mean in the car? You
I'm saying nothing, Tosh. I promised Mrs. Lloyd Samuel I wouldn't say anything. Yeah, he played for England, yeah.
He's centre half or a fullback.
Is he the England manager?
No.
Did he...
Sorry, Bob. He's a centre half.
Sorry, Bob, I shouted over there. Apologies.
You know, when
Gary
you said...
Cahill.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, when you said best team, was it well better?
Was it an overhead kick by Gary Cahill?
I don't know. Might have been.
It
Oh,
was.
yeah,
Was
it was
it
Gary
Easter?
Cahill, yeah.
Was it Easter Sunday?
April 15th. No, it was Saturday. So no.
Was it Easter Saturday?
Don't know. It's around the
Just
time.
keep asking questions about the game.
It's April.
I actually remember that one. I think it might have been an overhead kick.
Yeah, that's why I picked it. That famous goal. I only
It
picked it
actually is.
because Chris Sutton played. I think you got him straight away.
Have you heard that Arsenal fan talking about Sutton this week?
No, anything Chris Sutton related, I just skip over.
He's quite funny. Sutton on 606 as a side note, him and Savage, good team. But
He isn't.
yeah, they actually are quite funny. But no, there's just some Arsenal fan call them at all sorts. Just very funny. Yeah, I'm not going to say some of the words he uses. Go and check it out though.
So thanks for that, Sean. We managed to beat you this week and get back to winning ways after you beating us last week with some tough players, but we just not managed to get there today. Before we go on to Maroon 5, we will talk about our game of the weekend, which was Aston Villa absolutely battering Sheffield United 5-0. Chris Wilder very unhappy at the end. Did anybody see much of the game or have any thoughts on the game?
Yeah, just saw the highlights. I think I've seen a bit of the first half. Actually, seen a couple of the goals, but yeah, just a shocker, really, isn't it? Just 4-0 down so early on. You thought if there was a chance to let Sheffield United, Luton, Burnley might all be adrift. You're now just looking at Sheffield United and Burnley potentially as down, don't you? Luton doing a really good job, but United, I think, yeah, that's a shocker. And if your home games are so important in a relegation battle into a game like that, Villa haven't got a brilliant away record, despite being close to the top. They based a lot on the home record, and to be 4-0 down so early, you think, yeah, not ideal. But Villa looked very good from what you see. Got a good side, Villa. I was impressed with them at Goodison a few weeks ago.
I called it.
That now doesn't look like a bad point for Everton, to be fair, after at home. But I haven't seen much of that game, but I seen that. I thought it was the first goal with Douglas Luiz plays that great ball.
Second, I think that was.
Yeah, through to I think Ollie Watkins, which is a great finish. And he's a great striker, to be fair. I think has he got the most goals and assists?
Not too sure.
He broke the record for goals and assists, I think, Ollie Watkins.
He had something like on Saturday. It was like he was involved in pretty much all the goals, wasn't he? I think. I think the first one was John McGinn tapping, wasn't it? I think after he'd made it, like just had the shot saved or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Douglas Luiz is a quality player as well. I think Villa have done well to keep him for so long. He always seems to be linked with someone a bit bigger. He's ridiculously good, really. He was at City, was he? Was he from City first? Did they sign him?
I think so, yeah.
I think City was on City's books. I don't think he ever played for them.
No.
Yeah.
But
I think... Go on, sorry, Carl, you.
No, I was going to say it was, as you said, definitely not what Sheffield United needed or would have wanted, and to be in the position they were, to then get battered like that when you just... It's not what I assume, it's not what the owners thought they were getting in Chris Wilder for. I'm sure they thought he was going to kind of, draw a few games, nick a few wins at home, see how they get on away, but to get beat like that, it's damning, isn't it? And I think they probably, what are they, like 10 points off safety now, I think, something like that.
Getting cut adrift. I think you talk about Wilder, he just seems a lot, I'm going to mention him, but he just seems like in the last couple of games, they obviously got beat in the Cup to Brighton, didn't they? They gave Brighton a bit of a game, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and he was very sort of agitated by the referees and things like that. And I don't know, did you see it on Wednesday when they got beat to Palace at home, where he was moaning about the linesman eating his butty. He said something like, "But you haven't heard it." He's sort of just talking, isn't he? I don't know whether it's with the club or like it doesn't seem to be. I don't know if it's official TV or like the club TV or whatever, because it seems to be on the next to the pitch. He's saying he went to see the referee and he's absolutely furious that as he pops into the referee room, the linesman was eating his sandwich. And he made a massive deal of it. And he said, Wilder said something like, does he know like there's a Premier League referee walking in the room or something? It's like, what was he supposed to do? Just because he walks in the room, he drops his sandwich or like, I don't know. But Just made me laugh, but yeah, he seems like someone who's on the edge a bit. Wilder, doesn't he? He
Mhm.
seems very edgy. I remember him when he was first up, and obviously they were doing a bit better, but quite sort of, glad to be here type thing. What a job he's done, because he did a brilliant job first time around, back-to-back
Yeah.
promotions. Whereas now he just seems a bit like, I know he's been around a couple of clubs.
Yeah, didn't he initially fall out with the owners? Then he's come back and said that the relationship's been healed, but it may not be, and it's his local club as well, isn't it? So it's probably bound to bring additional pressure to him.
Yeah, well, he said only we did a Maroon 5 the other week on bad returns. Maybe that's looking like one. I wouldn't be surprised if you get rid of him again, to be perfectly honest, because they seem to be getting worse rather than better. They had a couple of decent results, didn't they? Anyone, anything, any other thoughts before we moved on to Maroon 5s?
Nah, go ahead.
That was a lovely segue, so it's a good chance to move it. Yeah, so if we revert back to last week, we looked at football songs in relation to the Grammys that have now been and gone, and the winner this week was Spirit of the Blues. Bob delighted with that one, I think.
I remember to vote that time.
We've obviously got quite a lot of Everton fan listeners, as well as all of the members of the team. So that just edged out Aussie's Dream. So Aussie's Dream, despite
really?
no one knowing it, yeah. Well, didn't just edge it out, but Aussie's Dream was second. So I think, despite not many people knowing it still did quite well. Obviously, one of them people who listened to it and went back and thought, yeah, that is a tune.
Yeah, but did you specify on the poll? I suppose you talked about it in the episode, but someone might have just glanced at it and thought you were talking about Leon Osman.
Could have been, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe I should have tapped into that. I might have won, but I might have got some of the
Yeah.
Everton fan votes. I should have tied in Snooker Loopy as well. That would have got me all the wins. But anyway, this week's Maroon 5, we're going to look at quite a difficult one to put, but biggest snides in football. Another word you could use, which I'm not going to swear. I'm sure someone will at some point. But yeah, so we're going to do that in relation to Neal Maupay, who's been in the news in the last week. First of all, for imitating James Maddison's darts celebration, which really seemed to rile Maddison up when he scored up on Instagram afterwards. And then even last night, as we were time of recording, he was I think he wound up Walker saying he was like saying stuff about his kids or something. So yeah, I just seen that just before we started recording. So very much a snide.
Get him back.
Yeah, well, he scored and being a snide. That's the dream. That's what we thought we were getting, didn't we? We didn't really get much of either, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, we're going to think about our favourite football and snides. So we're going to go from there. Anyone want to step up and go first?
I'll go first.
Cheers, Cal.
Go on. I'll go first with someone who I think has already been nominated for the Island. I don't think he made it though. He's one of Sean's suggestions early on. And I am going with football's biggest wind-up of Jamie Vardy. I think with a lot of these kind of players in these wind-ups, they're actually very likeable in certain ways, I think. And especially if they play for your club, you kind of love to have them at your club. But I think Jamie Vardy is kind of, because of his sort of journey in football, I think we think he's kind of one of us almost, and he's not. He doesn't seem that far removed. He seems like just quite a normal lad. And yeah, a massive wind-up. Not so much on the pitch with the opponents, but more so with the fans. There's that like video goes around. That's a bit of a compilation of his celebrations winding up, and the team who he's playing against and winding up the fans. And I think it seems to work. And I think he's one of those players who like feeds off that. And I always think like when strikers come to Goodison and stuff, and the fans kind of give any strikers a bit of abuse, I just think we know what's coming. That they'll score like a last minute winner here and sort of shut everyone up a bit. And I think Jamie Vardy's one of those kind of players. People in the game and the playing don't seem to like him. He's a bit of a player who does take a bit of stick by opposing fans, but I think it's just like, yeah, you'll regret that because you'll have the last laugh. And especially in that season with Leicester, he really did, and some of the goals he scored are unbelievable, obviously. But yeah, I think he's one of football's biggest wind-ups. I think he gets the whole crowd riled. I think he does get opposition players riled as well, and just the way he plays, he is a bit of a snide, isn't he? And he looks like it as well. To be honest, he looks like he would be a bit of a snide, but I think he definitely knows what to do with the crowd, and yeah, he is my god. Did he make it to the island with Sean?
No.
No. So yeah, maybe I'll put him up again. Hopefully he can make it this time because I'm sure he'll fancy it. So yeah,
Yeah.
Jamie Vardy, football biggest wind-up.
He's got the addition of being married to the biggest snide wag as well.
Yeah, they can go together.
Yeah,
He
It'll be the
can't.
thing that decides it.
I'm not letting Rebecca Vardy on the island. No way.
she can drop her phone in the ocean again.
She'd disrupt Kumas's zen. You don't want that. Just kind of. Yeah, I think we discussed him at the time. Was he Mavericks we suggest him for, Sean? Was he your favourite Maverick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is just
I
great.
think
And as you say,
closer to being a snide than a maverick,
yeah,
I think.
Snide does suit his personality better, I think, yeah. But
And
I think
scruff.
yeah, I think he is great. He is one of them type players. I think you've made a good point there, Cal, about you sort of they're that much of a snide that you do sort of love them. If when at the time when they're doing the stuff to you, like if you celebrate right in front of you. I think I mentioned when Sean's on it, it just always seemed to be in my head away at West Brom. You just seem to be always celebrating. He always like runs to the same.
Yeah.
I also think what helps a snide is when you've just got a punchable face.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He just
looks
looks it, doesn't he?
Yeah, like he could be the soundest fella ever, which no doubt he is. But I mean, I reckon I'd probably hate him. I reckon if I knew him, I'd hate him. But he just looks like you'd never get tired of smacking him.
Yeah, but I think is like that side of him comes from playing in the lower leagues and that though, where like you are playing in front of a couple hundred fans and dead close to them, and he probably was giving it back to them at the time. And he's probably taking loads of abuse dead close, and when he scored, he was probably right into them.
Yeah, and he's not playing.
Kept that going too.
He's not playing against proper footballers, is he? He's playing against like lads that do just want to nail him.
Yeah,
he's got to get
kicked up in the air.
Yeah.
I just think he's definitely he's been well versed in snideship. I think so. Yeah, he definitely knows how to wind people up.
I like how we're skating around because none of us want to say the word.
So
shit out.
You've come up with snideship.
It's a family show.
I do quite like the word snideship though. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Yeah, that's a good word.
That's how they're gonna get to the island as well for Vardy on the snideship. Yeah. Great shout, Callum. Starting off, I think he fits the bill perfectly well. Bob, how punchable a face has your snide got?
I was just making notes there, and the first thing I wrote was punchable face. He'd love to take a cricket bat to his face as well, but so I've in a way gone with an Everton link because he was so snide against Everton, but more closely related to Liverpool, I'm going to go for Luis Suarez, and I was struggling to scribble down notes on his very famous incident where he's an absolute shit out. So the first one I went for the handball in the World Cup. He was a player that just did absolutely everything he possibly could to win, and that obviously crossed over into blatant cheating quite frequently. So that's one incident. I think there were numerous biting incidents where he was. I can't remember it. Who was it? Ivanovic, was it? And Chiellini.
Yeah.
So that just bizarre behaviour. One of my favourites now, looking back, having simmered down from it, was the dive celebration in the derby, which was a pretty iconic comedy moment. Now that I think I warmed to him slightly because he left Liverpool in fairly controversial circumstances, so it endeared Suarez to me a bit. But prior to that, I did absolutely despise him because he had such a big role in effectively ending the Everton careers of Kevin Morales and Jack Rodwell through the Morales incident being an absolutely terrible challenge on his ankle, I think, and I think he never quite came back to what he used to be. Then Jack Rodwell in we'll call it the Atkinson derby, when Jack Rodwell put a very firm but fair challenge on us. Obviously, Suarez goes down as if he actually died. And Jack Rodwell never really came back from that, I don't think.
Yeah, I remember that one. Again, that was his game though, wasn't it? He was just all action, all like...
Yeah,
doing anything to win, wasn't he? And I think that's a hallmark of the Snides, isn't it? Whatever they can do to sort of to get over that line. And yeah, I know it's hard to say you liked him when he was at Liverpool, but I do think I did. And maybe I'm looking back at it, haven't liked him afterwards. But
yeah,
I'd sort of, you'd like all that. Saying it was, even at the time, I thought it was funny when he dived in front of Moyes.
no, I was livid when he did it then, but looking back at it now, it is comedy gold, isn't it? But I've made myself angry again thinking about Morales and Rodwell. So
Morales got him back though, didn't he? The year later.
He did, yeah, that was quite funny.
There was the one where he did that, the Suarez, that dive. Was that the one where he scored last minute as well, and it was disallowed?
That's what I was thinking.
And Gerrard went running over his knee slide instead, and then Everton went on the break. he didn't realise he scored.
We were in Neil Road for that, weren't we, Tosh?
Well, I was there, but
I remember me and Griffin watching it in Sheffield, and it was great.
It was that year. It was definitely that year.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So it was that year, and then there was the year after was the 3-3 under Martinez, wasn't it? I think that was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But yeah, would you not have? I think did you not have your season ticket then?
No, mine was the year after.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
So I thought we had the memories that you went at the same time. No, but yeah, no. I'm gonna make a point which is going to benefit mine. I think this person to be the proper snide, you've got to be South American. I think all the true snides are South American, and in particular Argentinian and Uruguayan, but definitely South American.
Thanks, Tosh.
No, I'm not just saying that because mine and Bob's picks are Argentinian and South American, but I genuinely would always have said that.
Well,
you've got to be a particularly good.
What the polls should be is biggest snides, UK versus South America.
Yeah, it could be, but it is the Argentinians and Uruguayans and even Brazilians. Brazilians have got a touch of it as well. They're just the kings of the snides. They're all like it. They're all up to it.
But then my question is, because obviously if I get the answer I want, it benefits me. If I don't get the answer I want, it doesn't. How big of how much does ability come into being a snide? Like, is it more impressive being like a grade A snide when you're not actually that good?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that one.
Well,
I think yours as I'm trying to think of the answer that doesn't suit you now, to be honest. But yeah,
I think it's easy fans hating you when you like Suarez was slotting consistently against Everton. He was winning or sending Liverpool towards titles and stuff. Well, nearly. That's easy for fans to hate you. Whereas if you're not doing that, maybe the art of what was it, Cal?
Snideship.
The art of snideship maybe is even more pure in someone that doesn't have the football ability.
Yeah, no, I get you. I like your thinking there. You can make that argument for yours.
Yeah, well.
Right, I'm gonna jump after Bob then in the South American train. So my pick, which I think is unarguably the winner, is Diego El Cholo Simeone, who I think the difference between my pick and the others is he was a snide as a player and snide as a manager. Also Argentinian, so ticks the box that I've already said is essential to being the biggest snide. So yeah, as a player, again, before our time, so hard to sort of remind, but obviously his most famous incident for me is getting David Beckham sent off. And that's just a perfect display of snideship in that he makes sure he knows David Beckham's the young sort of up and coming star. He's the sort of obviously sort of like a spice boy, etc. He goes right in the back and it is a terrible tackle and he lands and he made sure he lands on like Beckham's back to make sure he's done the damage there, to which Beckham responds obviously nowhere near as bad and he's rolling on the floor to get him sent off. And after it's done, him and Batistuta are there looking like they've basically won the World Cup there by achieving that. And I just think it's absolutely perfect the way it works. And that's the perfect element of being a snide there. He knows he's done what he's got. He's got one over on the young lad. He's put one on him and then he's got him sent off. 2 in 1 there.
Are we talking about snide or absolute legend?
Well, he is an absolute legend. And then obviously as a manager, he's managed a bit in Argentina, but most famously for Atleti. And again, you watch his team and you see how many snides has he produced as a manager, how many sort of brilliant sort of players that are just absolute snide. You think of his defence, I think that's something you have to have, likes of Godin and Miranda and Gabby in that first team. He had Diego Costa, that maybe could have been easily picked in one of these as well. Notice a lot of them South American still as well, just pointing it out. But absolute snide. Even as a manager, he's done things, he's always mouthed at referees. He's been so many touchline bans. He had that famous one. Do you see that one when he kicks the ball onto the pitch when the other team are on the break to get the game stopped? It's just fantastic. I think just a great character. And also as well, obviously not really essential, as Sean says the thing, but done an unbelievable job with Atleti, turn them into title contenders. But yeah, I think he's South American, he's Argentinian, which obviously I love, but he also player and manager. He's stuck to his snideness, and yeah, I don't think there's a bigger one than him for me.
Yeah, I think it's a good shout. I think it's a good point with him being the manager as well. He's a manager similar to how he played, isn't he? He's just a bad snide, and it's kind of like win by any means necessary, which I think, like you said, I think that is kind of a bit of a South American sort of philosophy for football. You kind of win by any means necessary, particularly with the Uruguayan players. Gareth Charrua, I think it's called. There's a bit of fact for you. That's their way of playing.
Sorry, Cal, you don't even know if that's the right word.
It is Gareth Charrua. It is. It's in the book. Read it.
Only I talk about books.
Yeah, that's how.
Tosh only talks about good books as well.
That's how they play. But yeah, I think the South Americans are very good at it, and they do it in the right way as well. They try and even snide in the way they do it, because they do it like behind the ref's back and they try and get someone else blamed for something. And like that Beckham one's just a good example of that. The ref didn't get onto what he done, but just goaded Beckham into reacting, and Beckham gets sent off. But yeah, I think it's a good shout, Tosh. He's a good one.
Any other thoughts before we pass it on?
I can't say I've seen much of him as a player, I'll be honest. I mean, even as a manager, it's not really. I mean, yeah, just about watching.
You must have seen his teams and the way they sort. Even a couple of years, was it last year or the year before, they beat City, or City beat them, and the way like that Savage was at Grealish and like pulling his hair and all sorts. That's
trained to be like that, aren't they?
That's coming from the top, isn't it? You think like the way you say like Pep builds teams in his image and like plays the football. He's learned from Johan Cruyff, Simeone. You've got to have an element of snide. You've got to be trained in the art of snideship to be playing for Simeone.
You know what? So he's breeding the next generation there, isn't he?
Exactly. He's done it all. It's like generations of snideship. I don't know whether his son plays, doesn't he? His son was playing for Napoli last year. I'm not sure if he's a snide. I'd be worried. He scored against Liverpool, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
I'd be worried if he's not a snide. Let him down, really. But
yeah.
Right then, Sean, do you want to wrap us up, please?
Yeah, go on. So when we came up with this topic, this was the first name that came to my head. And it's weird, really, because like for a Maroon 5, normally I'll do a bit of research, just check that what I'm saying is correct more than anything. But with this, it's not really something I can research. It's just a vibe I got as the first player that came to me. And it's Celtic's Scott Brown, who...
Another one of your hair inspirations.
Exactly, yeah. Although, no, because he actually got a full head of hair now.
Yeah, but when he was at his snidest, he had a proper Sean head.
Exactly, but I think that makes it even better, because he shaved his hair purely to be a snide. And then now he's finished, he's going to be back again. If only we'd all do that. But yeah, I just think, as I say, not that I've watched lots of Celtic back in the day, but when I think of big moments, like you look at old firm games, I've never seen a man just dictate the mood of a ground like Scott Brown could do. It was actually unbelievable. He'd almost like pick a man and just go, I'll get him sent off today. And I've never seen, I know loads of players are able to do that, but I've never seen anyone as good at it as him. He just keep going and going. And what I was saying before, he was a good player, obviously. We never know how good he was, as he never played in England. But he kind of, his lack of ability thereof, if he had it, it's made up for in what else he brought to the team, which was that ability to lead the team, really good leader, captain, but also the ability to negate another player. And what I loved about him as well. Sorry, Bob.
And he was so good at doing that to the entire crowd and that entire team in the old firm as well, which just makes it so much better.
Exactly, like on the big occasion, he could dictate the whole ground. Every fan would hate him, every player would hate him. But what I like about him as well is if you think like from through the years, all his like rivalries, he always picks another snide to go with. Go 1-on-1. It's like the battle of the snides. So we started off with Doof when Doof was at Rangers and he was at Celtic.
That was great. That with Doof.
He'd go head to head with Doof, and you think like he hasn't picked anyone here. Do you know what I mean? He's picked a big name.
Doesn't pick on the little guy, does he?
He does top dog.
Himself.
Comes out on top.
He doesn't punch down, does he?
No, he came out on top.
Bet he would. He had the chance.
And then after Doof, it was that Morelos, wasn't it? It was horrible.
Oh, I liked him as well. He's a snide. He could be
exactly.
in South American.
Yeah,
Jinx.
and he went head to head with him, and then even later than that, it was that Ryan Kent, who I don't know much about, but he looks like a little div.
Sounds like Kent.
Yeah. He's from Liverpool. Was he something to do with Liverpool as well? Wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
So like, and that little rivalry they've got. It started at Celtic. So when Scott Brown was at Celtic, he was doing everything he could to wind him up, get him sent off. And then when he moved to Aberdeen, he continued it. And there's that famous thing when he gets Ryan Kent sent off and then he's waving him off, going, "Go on, see you later." And it's just quality. It's like I didn't complete the job at Celtic, so I'll move to Aberdeen and I'll do it in there. But I just think he just seems like yeah, if he played for your team, I reckon you just adore him. Like he's got everything you want. He's horrible to other players, other fans, but for you, he's just the best thing ever. And there's also that one. Do you know when he gets like that double tackle he gets?
Yeah, and he gets the ball kick. Does the little dance,
and he starts standing up doing that.
Plus, like his shorts up, and there's like a little dance called.
Is that Aberdeen?
I think that's Aberdeen. Yeah.
Against Aberdeen.
I thought it was against Aberdeen in my head, and that the thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's great.
Yeah, and then he's just like, it's almost that thing of he made himself untouchable. Where like nothing was going to get to him. Apparently, after that, I've seen an interview with Lee Griffiths where he said after the game he didn't realise he'd been done and like cut open in that tackle, but he didn't notice because he was too concerned with getting up and showing everyone that didn't hurt. So much so that he even in a little dance, but he's
like me and five-a-side though.
Even like the Juve one which you alluded to, like I remember that was like a great time for all firms. He seems to be playing every week and that, and then well, we do anyway. But there's like he'd had all them fights, and then he literally there's one where he scores, doesn't he? And again,
yeah.
But like he wasn't a scorer, but it's as if he sort of said, right, I'm going to score today, and then just by chance, like Juve's right next to him as he scores, just so he can do that. Everything just fell for him to be a snide. That's like the sign of a true snide, isn't it? Like, he didn't have to do much. He scored a goal, which he probably didn't do an awful lot of. And Juve was just there, so he could just go right in front of him to do that. I think it's a great shout. I think he definitely fits the bill, but he is in South America, unfortunately. So I just don't think he can win.
Which, if anything, I think helps his case. Because
the South Americans would have embraced him, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he was born to be like Uruguayan or something.
Yeah.
Right then. Any other thoughts on Brown?
I think it's a great shout.
I think we'll wrap that up. There's some really good cases. They're arguably our strongest cases put forward, I think, maybe there. So to wrap it up, let's just remind us who we had. So Callum picked Jamie Vardy, Bob picked Luis Suarez, I picked Diego Simeone, and Sean picked Scott Brown. We also, the reason we picked it, so the fifth member is Maupay, with an honourable mention to Yerry Mina, who was an absolute lovable snide for Everton and also South American. So he can be also a fifth member potentially going to the island. So remember, try and get yourself over to X, vote in the poll to see who we can send off to join Jason Kumas, Paul Pogba, Marco van Basten with the soundtrack this week to Spirits of the Blues. Right then, shall we get this week's game picked?
Right, so the games are picked. This week we've gone for Villa against Man United, Everton against City, and Fulham Bournemouth. Let's spin the wheel. And it is Villa United. Probably quite a
Pretty
nice
good
game,
one,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Should be a good game.
Yeah, if United done it, had a few decent results, haven't they? I think, yeah, obviously a good win on Sunday. Played reasonably well. All young lads started to score a few. So I think, yeah, it could be interesting. It's probably still edge with Villa just with their home record. Not too sure, but be interesting one if that is for sure.
I haven't got any football to contribute, but did you see the video of that Hoyland lookalike?
I was just going to say that should be Song of the Week.
Oh, it was devastating for him.
Did he get blanked, did he?
Well, he didn't necessarily get blanked. He was just amongst the hordes of crowds, like at the end of the game. And he's going, Hoyland, Hoyland. And obviously he's not going to hear him. Oh, the poor lad, I think he's Australian, isn't he?
Yeah.
Come all the way over. He saw him score, but yeah, he just got blanked. But I'm sure United, they're not soft, are they? They'll get him involved at some point.
Don't know, is it like...
He might be their next release. Might
The
do their
next-
next song.
Yeah. The new
Them
status
videos
quo.
he does, I haven't actually seen any of them. Is it like sort of slagging him off now? So is it...
No, he loves him. He's like,
Oh.
because so it's all to promote a song, to be fair, which is all right. But yeah, everyone just said this looks like Hoyland, which it doesn't. And then all of a sudden he started putting on a United kit, doing inspirational speeches to him to tell him he's going to score.
Like the Vardy lookalike?
And yeah, you know what?
Probably looks less like him, though.
No, or he's a singer. He's an Australian singer, isn't he? And like when Hoyland wasn't scoring, everyone was like, commenting on his videos, going on. Here's
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've seen that.
here's Hoyland versus Arsenal or whatever. And then he was
Yeah,
got
yeah,
upset. Everyone was
Calvi
commenting that he
understand
got
how
onto it.
memes work.
And yeah, so now he's a big time. But yeah, it does not seem much like him.
No. Seems like a nice guy, though.
He does, to be fair.
Hoyland
What a
or the
voice
other
as
lad?
well.
I've never heard Hoyland speak, but what's his name? Sean something. Yeah, seems like a nice guy.
Get him on.
As if he's big time now. Come on here. So no more thoughts then, no?
Yeah.
Are we
I've
doing
got 18
predictions?
minutes.
Let's
I
do a
reckon-
prediction for this one.
I
Go
think
on.
we should. Yeah,
Go on then. You start off since you're so desperate, Sean.
I'll go 2-2.
Ooh.
2-0 Villa.
I'll go 1-1.
I'll go the other set does. I'm going to go 3-1 United.
Sure.
Just to be a bit different. So we've had a sweep of the results, so someone will get the least correct results. Right then, we ready for our number?
Yep. So normal rules. I'm sure you know them by now. I'm not going to bother repeating them. Our number this week is 370. I've just realised we had Villa last week.
We did, yeah.
Did we? Yeah. Oh yeah. Was the number 370 or?
Do you know what? My guess probably was. I'm just picking the same one.
Have we got a song of the week?
The Hoyland one.
Yeah, should we go for Hoyland? Let me
I'm
find
going to
it.
say, is there any musical snides? Who's a musical snide?
I don't know. Define a snide in like a music sense.
South American.
A wind up.
Sort of diss track or something.
Eamon and that, was it Frankie?
Yeah.
You'll have to say that, Bob, though.
Yeah.
They'll all know.
So wait, that's it. We're actually doing that.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so you've got longer this week because you've got to listen to Eamon and Frankie back to back. So that's 2 songs worth.
Both classics, though.
Yeah, oh, they are, to be fair.
That they are.
I've got me
I've
one
got
answer.
mine.
I think the one that I'm happy with my answer. I think I've got a
I've
few
got
here.
one. I've got one United one.
You always go first, Callum, as well. So I reckon me and you have the same. So I'm going before you.
I'm sticking to me one United one as well.
I'm going first because I need to go see.
Yeah, that's fine, Bob.
Right, Bob.
Going back to my old Everton links, player I famously absolutely hated for Everton, but he was at United for quite a long time. Very much a Nepo brother. I'm going to go for Phil Neville.
Fair play. We'll get that. Let's have a look. I'm going to jump in next. I reckon someone might have mine. Actually, yeah. Mine's, again, thinking along what Callum said, 8-9 seasons. Not sure he was there that long, but in a lot of long campaigns and a lot of like long European runs for United, that great United side with Ronaldo and co. I'm going to go Patrice Evra.
Haven't you already had him once?
Have I actually?
You won a week with him.
Man with the slush puppy book.
I'll check because
Second week, I think. You recording Carl's.
oh no. Oh, I actually have as well. That was
someone's on the ball.
Change mine.
No.
That'd only been 9 out as well. Nightmare, give me a minute then. Come back to me. I can't believe it.
I am going to. Yeah, I was thinking similar to Tosh, sort of trying to go back eight seasons or so with someone who would have been in a successful United team, so played a lot of games in a season. Someone who had 2 spells at the club as well, which I think might have just boosted it up enough. I'm going to go with someone who Tosh just mentioned, and I'm going Cristiano Ronaldo.
Do you want to go next, Tosh, or shall I?
I'm still thinking.
Okay. I really struggled for Villa players. And my first instinct for a United player, I feel like the more I think about it, you know what? No, I'm going to go for it. I feel like they were there a lot longer than the 8 or 9 years, but they're famously, I know I'm going to lose this, but I don't care. I've said it now. They're famously a super sub. He went on to be Gaffer, which maybe we can include them if I'm really behind. I'm going for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I know. I feel like it's going to be
even out to guess at that, to be honest.
I don't know how many times he came on. I haven't got a clue. But the first thing that came to me, I know he was there for quite a while, wasn't he?
He probably was, wasn't he?
Yeah, but again, I don't
know. I had a few names written down then, so I'm just not happy with any of them because I'm not sure. I think I've got a couple either way. One of the thoughts was Dennis Irwin. But again, I get the impression he was probably there a bit longer.
I reckon he was there years, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he would have been, wouldn't he? And again, long campaigns. And then I was thinking that later team, so sort of like during then after Fergie, I was thinking like maybe an Ashley Young, he was there quite a while. But I think I'm going to go someone from the same sort of era, same sort of position. Mentioned a couple of weeks ago I think he was a scorer on any given Saturday. I'm going to try Antonio Valencia. Again, he's probably less, isn't he? But he was there a long time and again, like played.
I've checked the others. There's a couple of very close answers.
Oh no. Can I just have Ever again? I know that was within there.
Do you know, thinking about it, did Bob pick Phil Neville on that week?
Well, I actually thought Phil Neville might have been picked.
This is an absolute...
It's going to happen, though, innit? You're not going to remember, are you? Let's be honest.
I did.
No, but you don't remember how many, do you?
Did he actually?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He actually picked Ashley Young, though, so I'm glad I didn't pick Ashley Young. But I think Phil Neville's been mentioned somewhere else.
Bob mentions him most weeks.
He was mentioned for England caps one week.
Okay.
When we do it at Maria Fard on Football's Worst Barnett, I'm going to pick Phil Neville.
I can't believe you said you didn't like him. You hate him at Everton.
He was an absolute... I'm not going to use
him. Bob, good professional. Gentle. Changed the culture of the club.
Oh yeah, he brought loads of that success from United too, didn't he?
Just to let you know, lads, before you go, Bob, I might need your help. Not you specifically. I'm branching out, and I'm going to try and get more like. Well, I've got like an email. Obviously, you know, Bob, I've got an email address for the podcast. I'm considering like whacking it out and saying like if anyone's got any suggestions for Maroon Fives.
If we pick one, they can come on.
No,
That'll put them off.
Pick the best.
I'm not letting any old freak on. I've already had a few of them.
You've had Griffin on twice.
Some twice, yeah.
Also, lads, I've set up a TikTok, which is the least me thing ever. But I was speaking to Hannah's sister, and she was like, "That's where the money is." But I need to now work out how you make money off it. So
Right.
that's my next job.
I think it's the money in just joining it, yeah.
You're going to have to just clip.
£50 joining fee.
It's going to be
Right.
best when we record. You're going to have to clip things. That's how you want to do it, isn't it?
Could we do I was going to say, like, we're off next week, aren't we? Sure, we could even do an in-person one if everyone else was available.
We could. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Would have to be everyone else available, and also I'm limited to that Monday at the moment, but we'll discuss that another time because Bob needs the results.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, then results are in. Pretty good guesses this week. So all within 40, so pretty good. In fourth position this week was myself with Antonio Valencia, who was 339, so 31 out. Okay, so that was fourth. In third position was Cristiano Ronaldo for Callum, who was 24 out with 346 appearances. Still a pretty good guess. Which leaves Bob and Sean, who were both within 12, in second position with 381. So 11 out was Phil Neville, which means that this week's winner is Sean with a brilliant guess for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Only 4 out.
Oh,
366.
first win in ages. Can't remember last time we won.
Really good win for Sean there. Really
Well
good
done,
guess
Sean.
that. I'd have been second if we were allowed repeat guesses. So
I'm Jamie buzzing with that, you know.
that's a great show, really.
That was a very good shout.
I wouldn't have thought it was that many, to be fair. So that's
Yeah.
great.
When I was talking about it, I ended up talking myself out of it. So
That's part of it, then.
I'll edit something in where I go, yeah, I'm pretty confident with this one.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's only 4 out.
Right. Go ahead. Do your closer, Carl, and I'll do the...
Have you got
I'll
time,
edit-
Bob? Have you got
I'll
time
edit
for
Don't do the
photo
picture
stuff?
before we go.
Oh, yeah, go on. This could be my last one in this setting as well, lads.
Oh, wow, yeah.
My last one in the house. Big moment for everyone.
It'll be last one ever. If someone emails saying they'll edit it for us.
Yeah. Right, so after 25 games played, here is our new league table. Still at the top is Bob with 67 points. Callum is in second on 62. Tosh in third on 60. Sean, after that huge win, is now on a massive 48 points.
I've played 1 game less, though.
And the guests are still on 18.
Can we make sure I get 2 points next week?
So thanks for joining us for another episode of Keeping Up Appearances podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Possibly one of the best Maroon 5s we've had. Some great discussion there and possibly the strongest contenders from everyone. It could go either way, so make sure you get your votes in on X for that, please. And yeah, a great win for Sean, who's cried that impossibly over the last few weeks of being very disappointed with his own answers. He managed to come up trumps today, so well done to him for that. And another great Any Given Saturday as well. Thanks for listening. Try and interact with our social media pages if you can. Share the podcast, and we will see you next week.
And follow us on TikTok, everyone. We've got a brand new TikTok, which will be very active when I learn how to do it.
Are you allowed to be on TikTok when you're above the age of 30?
Well, I don't know. I'll set my age to 16. That won't get me in any trouble.
And any viral dances Tosh said he'll do. So look out for his woe.
That'll get you into more trouble, Tosh. They'd be checking your hard drive before they check mine. So I'm checking.
And yeah, if anyone is interested, I have an article out in the latest issue of When Saturday Comes. So go and grab a copy and check it out. Let us know what you think.